Facing the combined offensive of Mu Chen, the Flame Emperor, and the Martial Ancestor, the heavenly evil god did not retreat in the slightest. With an overwhelmingly ferocious stance, he clashed head-on against the five of them. If you enjoy my way of explaining and storytelling, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really motivates me to keep creating. Picking up from before, a dazzling radiance burst forth from the firmament ranking. Beneath it, 3 Mu Chens stood shoulder to shoulder. At the center of their brows, spiritual light gathered, eventually forming a mysterious sigil. This sigil seemed to be composed of 3 tomo, their pointed ends facing inward. The 3 tomo slowly rotated, emitting a strange brilliance. Amidst the overwhelming cheers, the light on the firmament ranking lingered for a while before gradually fading. They had finally succeeded. Qin Tian and the many Sankt-grade experts were shaken. At this moment, the pressure emanating from Mu Chen's body was in no way inferior to that of the Flame Emperor and the Martial Ancestor. Even more astonishing, there was not just one Mu Chen, but 3. All 3 Mu Chens possessed identical strength. This meant that Mu Chen's inscription on the ranking this time was equivalent to creating 3 rankers. By this calculation, the Great Thousand World now possessed 5 rankers at once, 5 against 1. Even the heavenly evil god would surely find this troublesome. On the mountain peak, Mu Chen raised his head. The 3 figures moved simultaneously, appearing beside the Flame Emperor and the Martial Ancestor. So this is the trump card you've prepared for 5 years. The heavenly evil god's voice suddenly rang out. But do you really think increasing your numbers will improve your chances of victory? A faint smile curled on his lips. The Martial Ancestor responded calmly. Whether we can win, only battle will tell. That does make some sense. The heavenly evil god chuckled. The 3 sinister eyes on his forehead flickered with cold light. In that case, let the battle begin. If you fall by my hand, the countless lives of the Great Thousand World will become slaves of my extraterritorial evil race livestock to be slaughtered at will. A gentle, almost compassionate smile appeared on his face, yet his words were filled with undisguised brutality. Countless experts of the Great Thousand World changed expressions. At the same time, boundless demonic energy erupted from his body. Each strand roared like a demonic dragon. In an instant, the sky and earth were completely engulfed. In front of the endless demonic aura, demonic sun annihilation. As his deep voice resounded, countless streams of demonic energy converged, forming 9 black demonic suns before him. Demonic flames surged upon them, emanating a destructive fluctuation. Even the surrounding space began to collapse from the residual power alone. Then, the 9 demonic suns shot out violently, targeting Mu Chen, the Flame Emperor, and the Martial Ancestor. Seeing this, the 3 did not dare underestimate the attack. They exchanged glances and nodded. The Flame Emperor struck first. With a grip of his hand, a black, heavy ruler engulfed in Emperor Flame appeared. He raised it high and slashed down. Buddha's Wrath Flame Lotus, adapted stylistically for consistency with your glossary tone. As the ruler descended, it was as if waves roared across the heavens. But these were not waves of water. They were torrents of flame. The Emperor Flame surged forward, burning space wherever it passed. This was a technique he had cultivated in his youth. Yet now its power far surpassed the strongest divine abilities of the Great Thousand World. The Martial Ancestor followed. Lightning coiled around the Thunder Emperor staff. With a heavy strike, 3 beams of lightning roared forth, transforming into massive thunder dragons. The Flame Emperor and Martial Ancestor each intercepted 3 demonic suns. The remaining 3 roared toward Mu Chen. Mu Chen tilted his head slightly and nodded to the white-robed Mu Chen. The latter stepped forward with a faint smile. Light barrier. A vast wall of radiant light condensed before him, blocking the path of the 3 demonic suns. This was the power of the endless light physique, the strongest defensive primordial law body in the Great Thousand World. Its defensive capability was unmatched. In the void, devastating forces collided violently. All the demonic suns shattered under their interception. For the countless lives of the great thousand world, we have no choice but to fight with numbers. The Flame Emperor let out a long roar and charged forward. The martial ancestor attacked simultaneously, his staff wrapped in endless lightning, each bolt carrying destructive might. Mu Chen and his black and white counterparts moved in perfect coordination. The five formed an encirclement, surrounding the heavenly evil god at the center. Wave after wave of world-destroying attacks surged toward him. Beyond the void, the terrifying clash continued endlessly. Yet the heavenly evil god did not retreat. He threw his head back and laughed wildly, displaying the might of a demonic deity. Demonic energy surged as he confronted all five head-on. Explosions echoed without cease. Each impact shook the hearts of countless experts. They all understood. This battle would decide the fate of both sides. Within the void, a vast barrier formed from the combined power of both sides, preventing the aftermath from spreading. For an entire incense stick's time, they clashed tens of thousands of times. Each exchange was powerful enough to destroy a continent. After another violent collision, the heavenly evil god stood in the air. His long hair was disheveled, his clothes torn, his evil eyes radiating boundless sinister light. He twisted his neck and smiled in exhilaration. Good, very good. How many years has it been since I last enjoyed such a battle? You three have not disappointed me. Come, let me see if you can save the countless lives of this great thousand world. As his laughter faded, he suddenly formed hand seals. The entire world trembled. The ninth eye, open. When his cold voice echoed, countless shocked gazes turned toward him. The tightly shut ninth evil eye at his navel slowly opened. At that instant, his demonic might surged explosively. Nearby continents trembled on the verge of collapse. Boundless demonic energy condensed behind him, forming viscous black liquid that dripped downward. Each drop contained enough power to destroy a Saint-Grade heavenly sovereign. A chilling smile appeared on his face. He extended his hand. The black liquid flowed around his fingers like water, emitting eerie, horrifying sounds. Filled with greed and destruction, Mu Chen, the Flame Emperor, and the martial ancestor grew extremely grave. They could sense overwhelming danger. This might be the most powerful existence in the great thousand world. The Flame Emperor sighed softly. Unfortunately, he is not its guardian, but its destroyer. The martial ancestor said in a low voice, "No matter how strong he is, we cannot let him step into the great thousand world. Then let's move." Mu Chen clenched his fist, his voice filled with killing intent. The Flame Emperor and martial ancestor nodded. In the next instant, 5 streaks of light shot into the sky, carrying boundless power. As they charged straight toward the heavenly evil god, what kind of offensive did Xiaoyan and the others unleash that caused the heavenly evil god to change expression for the first time, even revealing deep fear in his eyes, picking up from before? Facing the ferocious combined assault of the Flame Emperor, the martial ancestor, and Mu Chen, the heavenly evil god showed not the slightest fear. He threw his head back and laughed, then suddenly swept his sleeve. Boundless demonic energy condensed into a viscous black fluid, instantly forming a massive demonic ring. Centered on him, it swept across the surroundings. The 5 torrents of power slammed heavily into the ring, yet the ring revealed an extremely terrifying, devouring force. With a single sweep, all 5 torrents were shattered. Spiritual light surged. 5 figures tore through space, appearing around the heavenly evil god. In the next instant, a flame-burning heavy ruler, a lightning-wrapped staff, and fists of different powers, all blasted toward him. The heavenly evil god chuckled softly and extended his hand. His arm was wrapped in endless demonic energy, condensed into black liquid. He struck heavily against the heavy ruler. Sparks exploded, the ruler trembled violently. At the same time, he flicked his sleeve. Black liquid surged forth, smashing the incoming lightning staff away. His flesh surged. 3 streams of black liquid transformed into 3 demonic fists, colliding violently with Mu Chen's 3 light fists. Ha ha ha, all of you fall back. His laughter thundered. With a single roar, an indescribable demonic might erupted. 5 muffled sounds rang out. The 5 figures were forced back, their footsteps leaving deep imprints in the void that lingered for a long time. Even after withstanding the fierce attacks of Mu Chen, the Flame Emperor and the martial ancestor, the heavenly evil god merely smiled faintly. His eerie eyes gazed at them gently as he said, "It seems your numbers advantage is no longer effective." Hearing this, the Flame Emperor sighed softly. "In that case, let the 3 of us truly witness just how powerful your 9 eyes are." As his voice fell, the Flame Emperor took a deep breath. All the energy that had been spreading from his body was completely withdrawn. Not even a trace of flame remained visible. Yet his body became incomparably scorching. He slowly extended his palm. A spark appeared. Like a seed, it rapidly grew into a magnificent lotus. Upon the lotus were countless flame patterns, each one different, each representing a heavenly flame of the world. The lotus bloomed silently without the slightest fluctuation. When it fully opened, a 3-foot-tall flame figure sat within it, crowned and robed in fire, its appearance identical to the Flame Emperor. A majestic aura spread forth, like a true deity. At the same moment, the martial ancestor made his move. His hands formed a seal as if embracing the sun and moon. Ancient ancestral symbols revolved around him, each representing a different elemental power. Finally, he brought his hands together. 8 ancestral symbols fused within. A starry universe seemed to bloom in his palm, mysterious, resplendent, and filled with unfathomable might. Mu Chen also took a deep breath. Immortal. A calm voice emerged from his lips. Immortal light flowed from his body into his palm. Light. Tai spirit. As his voice fell, the black and white Mu Chens trembled slightly. 2 beams of light shot into his palm. These represented the power of the endless light physique and the Tai spirit sacred body. 3 primordial law body powers intertwined within his palm. Ancient patterns spread across the back of his hands. At this moment, the smile on the heavenly evil god's face gradually faded, for he began to feel a threat. The Flame Emperor raised his eyes and spoke calmly. "This is a technique I have cultivated for many years, never before revealed. Today, I will use it to measure the strength of your 9 eyes. I call it Flame Deity." As his voice fell, the 3-foot flame figure slowly rose. The entire great thousand world turned scorching hot. The martial ancestor raised his hand. Above his palm, a starry cosmos formed, countless stars within, all forces perfectly fused. This move, I call it Great Universe. He flicked his finger. The starry sky surged forth. At the same time, Mu Chen slowly opened his hands. A bead the size of a dragon's eye rose from his palm. It emitted an extremely primordial fluctuation. Primordial, the beginning of all things. Then, let it be called Primordial Core. In that instant, the flame figure, the starry universe, and the primordial bead formed a triangular formation, flying toward the heavenly evil god. Their speed was not fast, no tremor, no sound, yet this eerie calm caused the heavenly evil god's expression to change drastically for the first time. A deep fear appeared in his eyes. He had not expected that the Flame Emperor, the martial ancestor, and Mu Chen could reach such a level. Mu Chen watched as the heavenly evil god was locked by the 3 attacks. After a brief thought, he stomped his foot. A massive spatial rift tore open. Within it, a desolate lower plane appeared. No life existed there. The rift devoured everything, pulling Mu Chen, the Flame Emperor, the martial ancestor, and the heavenly evil god into it. Mu Chen understood. Their next attacks possessed overwhelming destructive power. If unleashed in the Great Thousand World, not only the spiritual demon continent, but even dozens of surrounding continents would be annihilated. The heavenly evil god merely glanced at the lower plane and did not resist. He knew this battlefield suited him as well. Within the lower plane, all eyes from outside still watched through the spatial rift. every gaze locked onto the heavenly evil god. At this moment, the three ultimate attacks approached him. The heavenly evil god's expression turned grave. He slowly brought his hands together. Behind him, rolling demonic currents condensed into a black demonic lotus beneath his feet. Demonic light flowed around him, like a demonic Buddha. Faint, eerie chants echoed. His 9 evil eyes slowly closed. 9 streams of black light gathered toward his tongue. It turned pitch black, overflowing with boundless darkness. The attacks arrived. The flame figure struck first, its hand like a blade. That slash seemed to split the entire world apart. Reflected in the heavenly evil god's pupils, the flame figure descended. A deep, eerie voice emerged from his mouth. 9 eyes, world-ending curse. He suddenly raised his head. Oemi, a demonic syllable burst forth from his mouth. It collided with the flame figure. Yet no sound emerged. All sound was annihilated. The lower plane began collapsing rapidly. Another chant, Oemi. It collided with the starry universe. 2 demonic syllables blocked both the flame figure and the cosmos. Then he spoke again. Oemi. The final demonic sound collided with the primordial core. Within the lower plane, the strongest forces clashed. No sound, only visible destruction. The entire plane shattered continuously. 9 demonic syllables roared out, like ultimate evil incarnate. They collided repeatedly with the 3 attacks. Shockwaves spread endlessly, crushing space itself, forming a massive spatial storm that engulfed the entire lower plane.